People have always loved to tell stories about my life like a fairy tale about a poor but smart boy who made all his dreams come true. He had a wonderful wife, a successful career, and his best friend Logan. From the outside everything seemed perfect, but of course it's always easier to see things from the outside. And now let me share with you how my family broke up because of 2 voicemails sent to the wrong conversation. How the so-called ideal life turned out to be a huge lie. But there was a time when I laughed at a joke about sending my boss "I love you bunny" message by mistake. Logan and I first crossed paths at university. He was the typical jock, and I was the classic nerd. We had little in common, yet somehow fate brought us together. His business acumen and my brains led to something bigger. After graduation, we launched a small business backed by his dad's money. For years things went smoothly. By the time I met my wife, I was no longer that broke guy who wore glasses and dreamed big. But one summer in August this fairy tale ended. I was only away for a couple of days, and when I returned to the hotel after completing the meeting, I had a quick conversation with my wife. She wished me good night. I had barely fallen asleep when my phone rang. Reaching for the bedside table, I saw the time, 2 a.m., and the message was from my wife. "The dream was gone. What's going on at this hour? We just talked, and everything seemed fine. I really want you to come back," she slurred in a voice message. I couldn't help but smile. My drunk wife missed me for a moment. I even thought about stopping by a jewelry store the next day. I quickly texted her back telling her I'd be home in a day, then wished her a good night and set the phone down. But a minute later it blinked again. "No, my husband will be back in a day, and we won't be able to talk about what happened." The message ended. My stomach dropped as the weight of her words hit me, and just as I started to process it, the next voicemail came through. "Well, or we could repeat it." I had to listen to it twice before the shock wore off, and the anger set in. My fingers flew across the phone screen as I typed a reply, but there was no time to waste. I had to distract my wife and call Logan. He needed to get to my place fast to see exactly who she was with. "Call me in a couple of minutes." I quickly typed and dialed my friend. To my surprise, Logan was still awake. "Logan, I need your help urgently. Get to my place," I said, cutting the explanation short. The sooner he arrived, the better. The chance we had to catch them in the ACT. "What's going on? Just get here fast. I'll explain everything when you're here. I brought your wife some wine today. She and her friend are having a bachelor party. I'm sure the wine's probably all gone by now." Logan's voice was unusually awkward. "Were you gone long?" "Yeah, about 2 hours. I brought the wine, made sure everything was fine, and left." Suddenly he burst out laughing. My stomach twisted and I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. My legs gave way and I collapsed onto the bed. I stared at the phone, which was still vibrating in my hand. I hit the reset button in a daze, just sat there and watched my phone buzz. I didn't waste any more time. I threw everything aside and rushed to the airport, boarding the first flight home. When I arrived, my wife was waiting for me, tears in her eyes, swearing nothing had happened. It was almost laughable. She even deleted the messages we'd exchanged. I couldn't tell if she was panicking or if she genuinely thought I was losing my mind. We had a long conversation with her so-called friend, who sheepishly admitted that they'd slept together not long ago during one of those weekends. When I was away, it happened at a mutual friend's birthday party, and after a few drinks my wife had practically invited Logan to continue the celebration at our place. What started as a casual suggestion turned into an affair. After hearing this from my former friend, I knew I couldn't stay silent. I made the decision right then and there. I was selling my share of the business. It was a bold move, one I never thought I had in me, but I stuck to it. In the end, Logan had to pay me 30% more to buy me out, just to ensure my part didn't end up in the wrong hands. The divorce went through quickly and smoothly thanks to our prenuptial agreement. My ex ended up with nothing, just what she came into the marriage with, nothing more, nothing less. There were no kids involved, so when we walked out of the registry office we were strangers. I got in my car and sped off. She just stood there staring at me with that blank look. I couldn't say for sure what was running through her mind. Maybe she regretted what she'd done, or maybe she was already imagining a new life. Either way, her drunken fling had cost her everything, but in the end it cost me nothing either. So guys, if you all liked today's story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.